Welcome to WesternSlopeNow.com. Meteorologist Russ Pappas here. You know, you've seen it outside. You saw it the last several days. You're going to unfortunately see it for the next several days. It's going to take a major storm pattern to come in here, a monsoon pattern, if you will, with that southerly wind direction to really scour out this smoke. Rather thick at times, and that's going to continue on Wednesday as well. Unfortunately, air quality health advisory continues through Wednesday. It's likely going to continue through this weekend as well. Even though we have a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, well, we do not. Actually, it's the Divide and the San Juan. So the mountain sites, they will maintain a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms this weekend. Wetting down the atmosphere a little bit, that could help thin the smoke out, not totally disperse it, but you know, again, we're looking at very dry conditions. We don't have the wind, therefore we will not have a red flag warning, but we're watching this. There's really not a whole lot of wind generators out there. We don't have a low pressure system on approach with a front to pull those winds up out of the southwest, which by the way would be ideal. Even though it's a red flag risk, that southwest wind would help clear out some of this smoke. And we really don't have a difference between a high and a low pressure system establishing themselves locally. So again, we don't have a whole lot of wind, and we certainly won't have the storms. We're dry. We're not recording much. The mountain zones in Garfield County, the elevated sites, they picked up a little light rain shower. I'm watching the northern border tonight, Wyoming-Colorado border, for some showers. But no, we're going to go dry. All of us will remain dry through the midweek and into the end of the week. The mountain zones, the higher elevations, you know, there's going to be some increasing humidity towards the weekend. So by the afternoon hours, some of the storms from the mountains and the heat in those areas could help lift. A couple lifting mechanisms there, the heat and the mountains. But it's not, again, not heavy downpours. There certainly should not be any flash flood risk with these light weekend isolated showers. I think Montrose by default and Gunnison could be under a 10 to 20, possibly even a 30% risk of getting some showers. That would be nice because we're dry and we're still maintaining fairly dry deficits. We have, I believe, about, I think Montrose is a half-inch deficit, while Grand Junction's greater than a 2-inch deficit. So yeah, we would like to have some of this. We just won't. There's not a whole lot there. We have this high-pressure system, and we have a much larger high-pressure system, several of them, towards the Pacific Northwest, and one rather large one off the Pacific Northwest. And that's the large ridge of high pressure that's really steering everything. If that remains anchored, then we're going to go hot for the next 15 days, and we're going to go dry, and we're going to remain smoky, because in that pattern, the westerly flow will continue, so those winds pushing in some smoke, but also the northwest flow could also have that smoke infiltrate our areas. We'd really like to have some moisture riding up from the southern zones. We'd like to get it past the San Juans. We'd like it to go all the way to the I-70 corridor. That may not happen this weekend. I think we're going to pop a few storms here and there, but for the western slope, we should remain dry. Looking at the extended forecast, we do have these hot temperatures. We have near record temperatures for the end of this week, but those records for Grand Junction are in the low 100s. So we'll be close. We could be looking at our 17th day at or above 100 degrees for Grand Junction. It looks like we'll make it through the weekend with some heat and some added humidity to start next week, some cloud coverage as well, and some lower temperatures. So it's likely we're going to encounter a bit of a pattern shift where we will always have low pressure systems passing by to the north, but I think once we get into the middle part of next week, one of those low pressure systems should have a cold front, and that should impact our temperatures. It should also help trigger some storms, especially in the mountain zone. So Montrose carries a slightly better rain opportunity to start next week, and cooler temperatures. Now, if this pattern holds up and we break the grip from that high pressure system out of the Pacific Northwest, then we will end our hot and dry streak, and we will go cooler and rainier. That would be helpful.